I have watched way too many good folks burn their hard-earned cash. They drop thousands on a rifle setup that looks like it walked right out of a video game lobby. But the second they get it out to the range, they cannot hit the broadside of a barn. Here is the hard truth that the industry marketing teams will not tell you when the world goes sideways. You do not need a safe queen built for Instagram likes. You need a kinetic tool that cycles every single time you pull the trigger. Today, we are breaking down 7 budget-friendly survival rifles. These platforms will not drain your wallet, but they will absolutely keep you in the fight when it counts. These are not cheap, disposable junk. These are proven systems. And I am going to walk you through exactly why they deserve a slot in your loadout. Number 7. Ruger American Ranch Generation 2, starting us off. We have a bolt action that completely rewrote the rulebook on what an affordable centerfire carbine should be. I am talking about the Ruger American Ranch. Specifically, the Generation 2 model. Ruger has always built tanks. But with this Gen 2, it feels like they actually listen to the guys out there running trap lines and managing property. You can pick this thing up in serious calibers. 223 Remington, 300 AAC Blackout, 7.62 by 39, and for the big bore fans, 450 Bushmaster or 6.5 Grendel. You are getting a 16-inch cold hammer-forged barrel, with spiral fluting to shave weight and help with cooling. The whole package sits right around 6 pounds. That is light enough for an all-day ruck, but it has just enough heft to stabilize your reticle when you need to take a precise shot on a coyote. The stock on the Gen 2 is a Monte Carlo style. It features an adjustable comb and length of pull spacer system. If you are wearing body armor or heavy winter gear, you can pull a spacer and drop that stock down to 12 inches. Ruger uses what they call their power bedding system. These represent integral bedding blocks that lock the receiver into the stock. That free floats the barrel, which is why this budget rifle prints groups that embarrass guns costing twice as much. The bolt features a 3-lug design with a 70-degree throw. That gives you plenty of clearance for your optic when you are cycling the action fast. The Marksman adjustable trigger breaks clean, usually between 3 and 5 pounds right out of the box. And yes, the muzzle comes threaded with a radial brake installed. If you are running 300 Blackout, you need to put a suppressor on this rig with subsonic ammo. It is laughably quiet. This system runs on detachable magazines, and depending on your caliber choice, many of these models accept standard AR-15 magazines. Range reports confirm it eats both supersonic and subsonic ammo without complaint. Just be aware, the magazine well fits tight, and the release is a bit shrouded, so you need to practice your reloads under stress. For a truck gun or homestead defense, that short 16-inch barrel is incredibly handy in thick brush or inside a vehicle. And with a price tag hovering between $500 and $600, this is the smart play for centerfire capability. Number 6. Mossberg Maverick 88. If your priority is raw stopping power on a shoestring budget, the Mossberg Maverick 88 is the undisputed king. This is what happens when engineers strip away the vanity features and leave only the pure mechanical function. This is a 12-gauge pump-action workhorse, chambered for 3-inch shells. The security model gives you a 20-inch barrel and a capacity of 8+1 in the tube. Functionally, the Maverick 88 is a Mossberg 500, just with some manufacturing efficiencies. It uses the exact same dual-action bar pump system and the same steel-to-steel bolt lockup. The difference? They moved the safety from the tang down to the trigger guard as a crossbolt, and they pinned the forend directly to the action bars. Those tweaks cut the price in half. Do not let the polymer trigger housing fool you. This shotgun is built to survive the apocalypse. We have seen torture tests where this gun ran 250 rounds of mixed ammo, birdshot, buckshot, slugs, 0 cleaning, and 0 malfunctions. That is the definition of reliability. Now, it is light. So when you run full power buckshot, your shoulder is going to know it. But the beautiful thing about the Maverick platform is that it accepts almost all Mossberg 500 accessories. Stocks, barrels, magazine extensions. You can buy the base gun cheap and upgrade it as your budget allows, for home defense or perimeter security. 8 rounds of 12 gauge is a formidable deterrent. The crossbolt safety might feel awkward if you are a southpaw, and the finish is basic. But for $200 to $300, this is a diamond in the rough that punches way above its weight class. Number 5. Kel-Tec Sub-2000 Gen 3. For years, we have had a love-hate relationship with folding pistol-caliber carbines. Usually, you had to choose between folding the gun or holding your zero with an optic. Kel-Tec finally fixed that headache with the Sub-2000 Gen 3. This is a blowback-operated semi-auto, chambered in 9mm. It sports a 16.15-inch threaded barrel. Deployed, you have about 30 inches of carbine, but folded up, and it shrinks to 16 by 6 inches. It essentially vanishes into a standard laptop bag. The game changer on the Gen 3 is the rotating forend. You unlock the barrel assembly, twist it 90 degrees, and fold it back. This allows your red dot or optic to stay mounted and zeroed, even when the gun is stowed. That is a massive tactical advantage for a truck gun or a get-home bag. The handguard features M-lock slots and Picatinny rail space for your lights and lasers. They also upgraded the trigger to a grooved aluminum shoe. It is a 2-stage pull breaking around 4.7 pounds, which is a huge improvement over previous generations. Now, I have to be real with you. This is a straight blowback system, so the recoil impulse is snappier than a gas-operated gun, and reliability can sometimes vary based on your magazine and ammo combination. Some shooters run thousands of rounds of Sig Sauer ball ammo flawlessly, while others might catch a stovepipe with cheap steel case. You need to verify your specific loadout at the range, but the fact that it feeds from standard Glock 19 or 17 magazines, that is logistical gold. If you are carrying a Glock on your hip, your carbine shares the same fuel source, at a price point of $450 to $500. It is a specialized tool that does its job very well. Number 4. Chiappa Little Badger. Let's talk about extreme portability. The Chiappa Little Badger comes in at under 3 pounds and folds into a package smaller than a tennis racket. This rifle was designed with one mission: disappear into a backpack until you need to eat. It is a single-shot break-action rimfire. You can find it in 22 long rifle, 17 HMR, or 22 Magnum. You get a 16.5-inch barrel and a wireframe stock that keeps the weight down to 2.9 pounds. The receiver has 4 Picatinny rails, so you can mount a micro red dot or a weapon light easily. A lot of survivalists will wrap that wire stock with 550 paracord. It gives you a better cheek weld and keeps emergency cordage on the gun. The muzzle is threaded from the factory, so yes, you can suppress a rifle that costs less than a steak dinner. The action is dead simple. Break it open, load 1 round, cock the hammer, send it. The trigger is heavy, but that hammer strikes with authority, igniting even the cheapest bulk rimfire ammo. In terms of accuracy, you can easily take small game out to 50 yards. The length of pull is very short for a full-grown adult. And the sights are plastic, but this is not a battle rifle. It is a sustenance tool. The single-shot manual of arms forces you to be disciplined with your shot placement. It is an excellent trainer for new shooters, and a perfect backup gun for a survival cache. For around $200, you can stash it and forget it. Number 3. Savage Model 42. Takedown. The Savage Model 42. Takedown is arguably the ultimate foraging tool. It combines a rimfire rifle and a shotgun into one break-action platform. This is an over-under configuration, usually with a 22 long rifle barrel on top and a 410 bore shotgun barrel on the bottom. Savage also offers a 22 Magnum version. The barrels are 20 inches long, and the whole rig weighs just over 6 pounds. You have a simple selector switch on the hammer to toggle between barrels. The takedown mechanism is brilliant. 1 button on the forend. Push it, and the gun breaks into 2 halves. No tools required, because it is a break action with no moving bolt or slide. Reliability is effectively 100%. The 410 barrel accepts 2.5 and 3-inch shells. That gives you the flexibility to run birdshot for squirrels, or buckshot for close-range defense against predators. Accuracy with the rifle barrel is solid for potting meat at 25 to 50 yards. You are limited to 2 shots before reloading, but that encourages a hunter's mindset. For farmers, homesteaders, and preppers, this weapon system consolidates 2 calibers into 1 frame. You do not need to hump 2 different guns through the woods. priced between $500 and $550. You are paying for American-made quality and extreme versatility. It is not tactical, it is practical. Number 2. Henry AR-7 U.S. Survival Rifle. This next rifle has a pedigree that goes back to the U.S. Air Force. The Henry AR-7, also known as the U.S. Survival Rifle, was designed to keep downed pilots alive in remote wilderness. Here is the hook. The entire weapon system disassembles and stores inside its own waterproof buttstock. And yes, it floats. If you capsize your canoe, this rifle bobs right back to the surface. It is a semi-automatic 22 long rifle, with a 16.1-inch steel barrel covered in ABS plastic. When stowed, it is only 16.5 inches long. Henry Repeating Arms took the original design and modernized it. They improved the stock ergonomics and redesigned the receiver to accommodate 3 magazines instead of just 1. You get an orange high-visibility front sight and a dovetail rail for mounting optics. Just remember, the barrel secures with a barrel nut, hand-tight. It runs reliably with high-velocity ammo like CCI mini-mags. Mechanically, accuracy is acceptable for small game gathering, usually grouping around 2 inches at 50 yards. Be aware that if you mount an optic, it will not fit back inside the stock, and removing the barrel will shift your zero. But for bush pilots, boaters, and hikers, the AR-7 is the gold standard for a self-contained survival system. At a price point of $250 to $300, it is cheap insurance that you can throw in a ditch bag. Number 1. Ruger 10-22 Takedown. We have arrived at the alpha dog. If you polled 100 survival experts, 70 of them would choose this rifle without hesitation. The Ruger 10-22 Takedown. Ruger took the most legendary rimfire action in history and made it portable without sacrificing a single ounce of performance. This is a semi-auto 22 long rifle, featuring an 18.5-inch cold hammer-forged barrel. The engineering genius is in the locking mechanism. You pull a lever, twist the barrel assembly, and the rifle separates into 2 sub-20-inch components. It fits perfectly into a backpack, but unlike other takedown designs, Ruger included an adjustment ring to tighten the lockup over time. This ensures your point of impact stays consistent, even after you have taken it apart hundreds of times. It feeds from the legendary 10-round rotary magazine, which fits flush with the stock, but you can also run 25-round extended magazines if you need the firepower. Accuracy is typical Ruger excellence. You are looking at quarter-sized groups at 50 yards with good ammo. Cleaning is a breeze because you can access the breech easily, and Ruger ships these with a high-quality ballistic nylon carry bag, with dedicated pockets for the stock, barrel, and optics. Because it is a 10-22, the aftermarket support is infinite. Triggers, bolts, stocks, chassis systems. You can customize this platform to fit any mission profile. Reliability is 5 out of 5 stars. It is simply the most versatile rimfire survival tool on the planet. Priced between $350 and $450. It is the rifle you buy once and keep for a lifetime. That is why it is number 1. So there you have it. 7 firearms that respect your budget, but will not fail you when the grid goes down. Whether you need the stealth of a rimfire, the raw power of a 12-gauge, or the range of a centerfire bolt gun, one of these tools belongs in your safe. Remember, the best survival rifle is the one you have on you when the music stops. If you found value in this intel, do me a solid, crush that subscribe button, leave a like, and jump into the comments section below. Tell me which one of these 7 you would trust to protect your family. I read through the comments, and I want to know your setup. Train hard, stay safe, and I will see you downrange.